No need to study all the 11 methods. Now, one by one, we are going to study the three important methods. So, before starting off with all these methods, uh, have you seen a method which has input argument as an object class type? We have discussed quite a few examples which is having input argument as object class type. While calling that method, we any object we can pass. We know the concept like if input argument is object class type, we can pass any kind of Java object, and what object you are passing, properties will be hidden. The object which I'm passing, those properties will go into hiding, and if you want to retrieve those properties, you have to downcast. Any method which is having object class will be by default upcasting. Upcasting will happen in that. I want to start off with the first method, hashcode method. Then I'll explain toString method. Then I'll explain equals method. These are the three methods we are going to study right now. The first one, hashcode method. So the first method. Before speaking about this hashcode method, I want to speak about this. Right now, for example, I'm going to conduct one interview. For example, I'll give you one scenario. I want to conduct one interview. I want to conduct an interview for this 126 people. I want to conduct one interview. So in order to conduct the interview, I want to identify every student uniquely. Third, I want a parameter to identify you. How can I identify uniquely? Is it possible with the help of your names? Because there is chances that
కొంచెం ఫాస్ట్ చేసావు
there might be
రికార్డ్
two people
అవుతుంది
with same names.
ఫ్యాన్
Possibilities are
సౌండ్
there.
వింటాను
There are two people with same name.
కొంచెం బయట
Possibility.
ఉంటావా
So I can't use name as the differentiating parameter. Then what I need to have as the differentiating parameter? So here I need to develop or create something new code. That code should be common for some certain integer code I have to create. Something like an ID. I have to create, okay, your ID number 1, your ID number 2, your ID number 3, your ID number 4, your 5, your 6. I should not assign same ID to two people. Something like, and I should create one unique parameter. I have to create one ID which will be uniquely identified. Okay, best example. As of I know, university people, it is existing from almost, let us consider, many years, 30 years, 50 years it is there. Let us consider this, 30 years they are surviving. Might be millions of people would have been graduated from this. Millions of people, they're just graduating from this. But still, every student can be uniquely identified. Still, each and every student data can be uniquely identified. Even if it is 50 million, we can uniquely identify the data. That is possible with the help of some registration number they'll create. They'll create one registration number. Your name is not important, your address is not important, your whatever, etc., is not important. I will generate one unique number. With this number only, I will identify you. You are identified with this number, not with your name. I'm not going to concentrate on you as a number, as a name. You're a number for me. Next, train ticket. Millions of train tickets get sold every day. So, in this train ticket, how can they uniquely identify one particular person? Millions of trains are there. It's not seat number. It's not at all seat number. They generate a unique number called PNR number. This PNR number, you'll uniquely, two people cannot have the same PNR number. Two people cannot have the same PNR number. Uniquely identifying is possible with the help of PNR. Meaning, what I'm trying to tell, any concept, if you want to uniquely identify, you can't be dependent upon name. You can't just be completely dependent upon name. I will create one concept which will uniquely identify millions of objects created. Millions of train tickets or university. Something like this inside the heap memory. Can you create thousands, millions of objects? Objects are created in the heap memory. How can JVM uniquely identify every object in the heap memory? Is it with the reference variable? No. Address? No. Name or name of the class? No. For the same class, I can create 1,000 objects. For the same class, I can create 1,000 objects. So this is where JVM people introduced a concept known as hash code. Just like PNR number for trained, VTU UNSN number for VTU University people, unique ID for 126 people, the Java object is uniquely identified with the help of something called as hash code. You know what happened memory? Address will be there. It is stored in reference variable. Along with that, internally, JVM will calculate one hash code based on address. Address is there without touching address. JVM will use the address for some calculation and it will generate a unique integer number. Every object will get a unique integer number which is calculated based on address. The moment object is created, JVM will internally do its work. Meaning, when you travel, will they give the PNR ticket? Or the moment you buy the ticket, they will give you. Even if you don't travel, PNR ticket will be there. Meaning, when you travel in the bus, will they give you the PNR number? Or when you write the exam, will they give you the hall ticket university number? No. The moment object is created, the moment object is created, okay, how India is a uniquely identified every citizen, I forgot the biggest example. How India is uniquely identifying every individual Indian with the Aadhaar card number. Irrespective of this, they have chosen one concept known as Aadhaar card number. Have you observed UID number, something they tell? Inside the main method, first of all, I'll write one class by name demo. I'll write. I will code value. Aadhaar card will return Aadhaar number. So, if you call the hash code method, do you have hash code method inside the object? Yes, we have. It is not visible because it is ghost. It is inherited from object class. D1 dot hash code. So, if the user wants to know what is the hash code, call the hash code method. My question to you, when you call the hash code method, will they calculate the hash code value, or hash code method will just return the already calculated value? Meaning now, when I call the method only, do you think they will sit and calculate hash code value and return it? No. The value is already kept ready at the time of object creation. I'll just return that value. It is something like when anyone asks you, show me your other, what is your Aadhaar card number? You will show your Aadhaar card. Uh, when you show your Aadhaar card, did they calculate the Aadhaar card number? Or already generated Aadhaar card will be displayed. You will just display the card where the value is already generated. Exactly the same concept. It's Aadhaar card for you. It is hash code for class, every Java class. You tell me this hash code is only for demo class, or this hash code is required for every class we write. Every Indian should get the Aadhaar card, or only you people, three people, four people will get Aadhaar card. So don't you think even if you don't want, people will give you freely the Aadhaar card? You're not interested to buy Aadhaar card, but still they'll force you to buy. Indirectly, they will give you that ID. They have to identify you. Meaning, this hash code method, did you understand why forcibly I'm making it inherit? Every class will get the 11 non-static methods forcibly. Why forcibly? This is a mandatory method for you. If you're a class, you need this ID. For me, Aadhaar card. For Java program, hash code. So don't you think this is a mandatory method for every class? Something like Aadhaar card is a mandatory thing for every class. This is a mandatory for every method. So hope everyone understood hash code method, hash code value. Make a note of this. First, write the heading code value. First, the heading hash code. Just a minute. First, heading hash code value and copied on this. So this is not my concept. Copied on this. Now, are you not calling a method which is present in a different package? Yesterday we learned if you want to call a method which is present in a different package, we need import statement, we need to create the object. I think yesterday I did a program. Scanner class, we need to have an import statement then only. But here we are using the methods present in object class, but we are not we are not written import statement. I forgot to explain you this somewhere. Okay, I'll tell you now. Listen. Scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. There is an error because you have not written import statement. Object ref is equal to new object. See this. When you write import statement, error will be gone. But line number 15, we don't have import statement. There is another inbuilt class by name thread. There is thread is an inbuilt class which is present in one package, java.lang package. There is an inbuilt class by name thread which is present in java.lang package. Again, we don't have any import statement. It is working. Now I'll write one more inbuilt class. There is a class by name hasSet. HS is equal to new hasSet. It is present in util package. So when you import only, it will work. And there is one more class, file new f1 is equal to new file. So again, this is present in java.io package. You don't worry about all those things. Just for understanding, I'm just writing all these things now. See this, file is imported, hasSet is imported, scanner is imported, but object class and thread class are not imported. So the conclusion is the classes present in java.lang package is a java.lang is a by default imported package. java.lang is an default package, meaning for all the classes present in java.lang package, not just object class. Every class present in object java.lang package, no need of import statement. I should have given you this note before only, but somewhere you make a space and copy down this. No need of, okay, java.lang is a default imported package. Java.lang is a default imported package. Hence, hence no need to write import statements for classes present in java.lang package. Java.lang is a default imported package. Hence, no need to write the import statement for the classes present in java.lang package. String class. The package fully qualified class name java.lang.string. Now let us come back to the concept. Let us come back to the concept. What is the concept here? Okay. Before the concept, one more question I missed out. I don't know who asked this question, but I remember that question. Sir, I tried the scanner class program. Okay, here first I have written next line method, next I have written next method. There is a small bug in Java which is still not cleared. So here first enter the sentence hello, how, hello, how. It is taking one sentence, it is taking one word. Suppose if I interchange this, it is a bug. What is that bug? I'll tell you. I'll run the program, enter a word. I will enter hello. Enter a sentence. It has not given me the choice to enter the sentence. By default, it has taken empty string. I mean, there is a bug which is still not cleared by the Java developers. They have ignored this bug. See, it is not giving me the chance to enter the value. There's a green color where I entered the value. Here, it is not even allowing me to enter the sentence. It is taking by default empty string. And I'll tell you one more. If I write Java hello, now this hello will be automatically stored in the other one. Check out. This space hello will be automatically. That's a bug which is still not cleared by the Java people. I don't know what happened with them, but still, even I can't help it out. That's an inbuilt concept. This is obviously a bug. It is working if I interchange this. First, if I write line method and then if I write next method, it is working. But if I interchange this, it will not work. This is what testing people also, I think, they tested. Once the product got released, it came out the bug, and they were not able to ready to change that. No updates were released. Now it will work. Now it is asking me enter a word. I will enter Java. It will accept. A reverse will work. I don't know who asked the question. I think this should be solved. This should be a doubt. Now let us come back. Next, this is about the Aadhaar card. Now I have a small question. Can you fake Aadhaar card? Meaning, can I create a duplicate and fake Aadhaar card by modifying the details of the Aadhaar card? Possible. Who told not possible? Now only I'll show you. There are thousands of people using modified Aadhaar card. Duplicacy, fake things. It's illegal, but possible. So what I mean to tell, like that, can you okay, if I create the object of sample, original hash code will be something different. But since you have modified the hash code, you have modified Aadhaar card or Aadhaar card number. You tell me, did we override, manipulate Aadhaar card or Aadhaar number? There's a difference. We modified Aadhaar card, not Aadhaar number. Understand? I just modified the Aadhaar card. Original Aadhaar number will never be modified. Your original Aadhaar number will not be modified. You can modify your Aadhaar card. There's an option because it is with you. You can tear it, you can photocopy it, you can do manipulation. Aadhaar card, you can do anything. But in the government website, Aadhaar number is there. No, you can't even touch it. That's what your hash code method you can override. You're returning some value. No, this is a duplicate. Instead of returning original value, you're returning something duplicate value. That's all. So instead of giving original Aadhaar card number, you're manipulating some other different Aadhaar card number. You're faking the things. Might be you're caught somewhere. You want to show others Aadhaar card number and escape. Something illegal you're doing. Instead of your Aadhaar card number, you will hide your Aadhaar card number and you will show others Aadhaar card number. For example, a proxy, meaning if you're attending, if you're writing exam for some other friend, you will hide your Aadhaar number and you'll show your friend's Aadhaar number. You will hide your Aadhaar number and your Aadhaar card, you will show it as your friend's Aadhaar number will be displayed. That's what I'm trying to tell. Did you manipulate your Aadhaar number or your Aadhaar card? What you did? Did you manipulate your original Aadhaar number or only Aadhaar card? That's the point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We can override hash code method, not hash code value. Can you override hash code method? Yes. Can you override hash code value? No. Check out. Now it will return 21, meaning duplicate Aadhaar number. This is not the original number. It is an overridden number. Suppose if I don't override, this will be the original number. Sample class, this is the original Aadhaar card number. Now, you modified the Aadhaar card, but you never modified the Aadhaar number. In the card, what is there, it will be displayed. But internally, the original Aadhaar number is as it is. I hope this is clear for everyone, Aadhaar card number. So this is about the concept of Aadhaar card number. If you want to manipulate Aadhaar card number, you can't do, but you can manipulate Aadhaar card method. This is about hash code method. Now, I want to explain you the next one, two-string method. It is like menu card. It will give the two-string method returns the string representation of the class. It will give you the details of the class. If you don't know what are the, you have an object but you don't know the details, you can call the two-string method. It will give you the details of the class. It is something like it will describe you. It will describe your class. A return string representation of class. Sir, what is string representation of class? Meaning it will return within double quotes fully qualified class name at the rate of hexadecimal of hash code. Sir, what is the use of this? I know useless. For you, seriously, it is useless. But I will give you representation of class. Whenever you call a toString method, I will give you fully qualified class name at the rate of hexadecimal number. So here only I'll write demo class is there, no? I will call toString method d1 dot toString is equal to plus d1 dot toString method. See this? What is a fully qualified class name of demo? What is a fully qualified class name? com demo libraries com.queues.libraries.demo. It is representing, if you want to know the details of that, and don't confuse this number is not at all address. Never get confused. This is not address. If you want the proof, I'll show you. If you convert this number to decimal, this is an hexadecimal number. If you convert this hexadecimal number to decimal number, you will get this. If you want the proof, I'll show you. Don't ask me what I'm doing, but answer you observe. Internally 0x followed by value, it will be hexadecimal number. Internally in the SOP statement, it will do the conversion and it will display, you see, 182916470. In line number 29, I'm printing 0x6bdc something. I'm printing it is displaying me the hash code, hexadecimal equivalent of hash code. Sir, what is the use of this? That's what I'm telling you, it's useless. But they have designed a concept like this. I don't know why they designed what for what purpose, but if you call toString method, you will get these details. Sir, I did not like it, sir. What should I do? Fine, override and make it meaningful. Override and make it meaningful. Sir, is it possible to override? See, whenever you don't like implementation, that's what you do. What is overriding? I did not like old implementation. I want to modify. Okay, do it. Return. I will write. Java program is easy. What I want, I'll write. Something meaningful according to my program. Right now, I don't have anything meaningful, but in future, I might need something meaningful. There, I'll use toString method. I'll create the object of sample class where I'm overriding toString method. s1.toString, s1.toString.
Spoon is on.
Observe now. You'll get a meaningful output if you call toString method. If you don't override, you'll get fully qualified class name at the rate of hexadecimal number. I know it is meaningless for you. It's fine. If you want to make it meaningful, you override it. I want to show you something interesting here. I'll not override toString method. Here I'll make it 10. Okay? Observe. At the rate of A. Can you just guess what is this A? Okay, now I'll write 15. Can you just guess what will be at the rate of? So now you have a clarity, it is not address. Can I confirm you? Definitely this is not address. It returns the hexadecimal value of the hash code method. Again, I'm telling you, it's useless for you. In future, we'll make it useful by overriding. In future classes, we'll make it useful.
Chala.
Now, one interesting thing I want to tell you. Can anyone tell me what will be the output if I print D1? What will be the output of D1? And what is present in D1? What is present in S1? What is stored in D1? Address of the object is stored in D1. A reference variable will hold the address of the object, no doubt in that. Reference variable will hold the address of the object. Okay, I want to tell you something. In Java, it is impossible to know the address of the object. In Java, it is next to impossible to know the address of the object. In Java, it is next to impossible to know the address of the object. It's next to impossible to get to know what is the address of the object. Sir, then what it will be printed? Very simple. You only observe the output of S1 and D1 and you tell me what it is printing. You only conclude what is printed out. It is printing the toString method output. There is no difference between D1.toString and D1. There is no difference between S1.toString and S1. Observe. So can I make a statement? In Java, if we forcibly print the address of the object, it will internally call toString method. There is no difference between S1.toString and S1. There is no difference between D1.toString and D1. Both are same. You only see the output. Instead of printing address, it is printing. Java program is easy. That is nothing but output of toString method it is printing. Suppose if I don't override toString method, it will print, now observe, it will print a fully qualified class name at the rate of 19. That 19 is the hexadecimal number of 25. So a toString method is just representing the class. It will give the details about the class. Suppose, sir, I don't know which class is this. You can get to know the details of the class by calling toString method. Sir, I have the object. I want to know the class name. Is it possible? Yes. Call the toString method. It will give you the fully qualified class name. Sir, I want to know the hash code of the object. Fine. You will get the hexadecimal number. You convert it to decimal number, you will get the hash code. It will display you the details of the class. Now it might not be useful, but in future I'll show you certain programs how to use toString method. Not today. So now tell me, this toString method concept is only for sample and demo or every class? Every class should have some details about. Okay, copy down. Take down the field. whatever I've explained, I've written in the form of a points. Override this method to make it a meaningful also. That depends upon the requirement. Should I override or not to override? Next, so we are going to speak about the next important method. This is the crucial method, equals method. Before understanding equals method, I want to speak about one small program I'll write. If you're able to answer me this program, then I'll explain equals method. If not, you'll find the equals method very difficult to understand. I want to know whether you have practiced upcasting, downcasting. I will write one class, currency note. So data members of this currency note, string, color, int, value, int, serial number. Next, currency note, input arguments, local variables and global variables same name, because every value should have different. This dot serial number color is equal to color. In the same way, this dot value is equal to this dot serial number is equal to. Now concentrate on this. Somewhere in between, I'll have a class by name, a printing press. In this printing press, I'll have an input argument void. Okay, instead of printing press, uh, device detector, currency detector device, or simply I'll call device void detect. The input argument of this, I'm going to have input argument as object class type, object OB. So in Java, it is possible a method can have input argument as object class type. Now println, I'll just write detect. In the main method, I'll create the object of device. D1 is equal to new device D1 dot detect. In the input arguments, I'm going to pass new currency note. Is it possible? If the input argument is object class type, can I pass the object of currency note? I'll create currency note with some values, pink color, 2000 rupees, serial number 1234, some random number I'll write. So is it possible input argument is of class object class type? I can pass the object of currency note. Now any upcasting happened, Okay, to make it very simple, currency note C1 is equal to new currency note. Did the upcasting happen here? I'll pass C1. Is it upcasting? I'm passing the reference variable. Instead of passing object directly, I'm passing the reference variable. Both are same. Instead of passing new currency note, I'm passing C1. Any upcasting happened? The C1 stored in OB reference variable. So inside the currency note, you'll be having name, value, serial number, and can you access all those members using OB reference variable? Can you access all those members using OB? You can't. I told you, clearly I told you. Currency note object, when assigned to object reference variable, it will hide currency note properties and it will show only object class properties. It is upcasting. When you perform upcasting, currency note properties will be hidden and it shows only object class properties. It will no more a currency. It is no more a currency. It is only object now. So using OB reference variable, you can access only, check out object class methods you can call. You cannot access name, color. So if at all you want to access value, color, and then serial number, what we have to do? This object has been upcasted here. Now, can anyone tell me what is the downcasting statement? We need to downcast it to currency note. CT is equal to casting statement OB. OB is the upcasted reference variable. I have to downcast it to currency note. And then using CD reference variable, I can access all the properties. Value is equal to CT dot value color, CT dot value, CT dot serial number. So hope you remember this is not a new topic. This first of all, this is not a new topic. This is a concept which we have already studied. There can be a method with input argument as object class type. There can be a method with an object class type. While calling the method, you are performing upcasting. So downcasting also should happen inside the method. When you're performing upcast, calling the method, you're performing upcasting. Inside the method only, you have to perform downcasting. So this one, I hope you already know. Okay. Let me keep it aside. Somewhere I'll copy that and keep it. This is not required for this program now. So for reference, I'll keep it. Now I'll come back to this program. Listen carefully. Let me take the same currency node example. I will create two currency nodes. I will create two currency nodes with same value, same serial number, same color. I'll create two currency nodes with same value, same serial number, and I will compare them. What will be the answer? Answer will be true or answer will be false. Same serial number, same currency note, same value. Uh, Now C1 equal to C2 will return true or return false. Let me remind you something. C1 is holding address of the first object. C2 is holding address of the second object. Address of currency note 1 is different. Address of currency note 2 is different. I am least bothered about value. I'm interested in to compare address. Double equals operator in Java will compare address of the objects and decides the answer is different. It is going to return false. Remember this. Double equals operator will compare address of the object and decides the answer. But actually, sir, we have to compare the content, right? Exactly. If you want to compare the content, you need to have this method which is present in objects. This equals method is going to help you to return true or false. It will compare the objects. And the equals method is designed to compare this method code of the object and decides the answer and decides the answer. So I'll call the equals method. Observe this. The return type of the equals method is boolean. Res is equal to c1 dot equals c2. If the input argument is object class type, can I pass currency node? Just now I showed you. Equals method is having input argument as object class type. If it is object class type, I can pass the object. And if I display res, can anyone tell me will it return true or false? Based on my explanation now, this equals method will return true or false. I think you have not understood the question only. It will return false. It will compare the hash code of the object and decide the answer. Don't you feel hash code is again calculated based on address only? At the end of the day, hash code is also calculated based on address only. Instead of eating with hand, you're eating with spoon. That's all. Here it is comparing address. Here it is comparing hash code. That hash code again is dependent upon address only. Sir, then what is the use of this equals method? Exactly, that's what I'm asking you. How do you know this is duplicate? How how did you decide it is duplicate? I mean, what made you to feel it is duplicate? Because sir, I know serial number should be different. Two currency notes, if there are with same serial number, obviously it is duplicate in India, sir. No currency note can have two same numbers, sir. In India, it is duplicate. Exactly. Now you are an adult, something 20, 22 years, something whatever the age. The same currency note, if I give to the small child, 2 years or 3 years, and if I ask, is it duplicate? Can the small kid identify whether it is serial number? Does he have that much knowledge about serial numbers? The same way now, equals method is designed for small kids. You have to override your brain. As you grow up, you came to know that okay, serial number is what differentiating parameter. When you grow up, you know that. When you're a small kid, you don't know. Exactly the same thing. The equals method is in now uh, this stage. Whatever the equals method written by object class is in starting stage. It is a kid. You have to override it and make it to compare serial number. We should scratch this hash code and you have to tell equals method compare serial number. You have to scratch the old meaning you have to override the equals method. You got the point? Now the equals method present in object class is based on hash code. You override that equals method and compare serial number of a currency note 1 and serial number of currency note 2. Return c1 dot serial number. uh, I know there is an error, but as of now you just understand c1 dot serial number equal to c2 dot serial number. I mean, this should be the concept. Ignore the errors. I'll clarify the errors later. But you tell me, you have to compare the serial number of 2 and decide whether it is duplicate or equal. We have to override according to the serial number. You got my point? You have to you have to inform the child that you have to compare serial number. Then only the kid will understand. The same way, this class, if you don't override, it will compare hash code. You have to tell, don't compare hash code, compare serial number. Now the problem is you can't use C1 and C2. The problem is you can't use C1 and C2. We should come across alternative. Now I have a query here. While calling the method, you're passing C2. Don't you think C2 is stored in OB reference variable? Try to understand. While calling the method, you're passing C2, meaning C2 is stored in OB. Instead of C2, can I use OB? Instead of C2, can I replace with OB? But there is a problem. Whatever the C2 you have given here will be upcasted to object class type. So using upcasted reference variable, you can't access subclass property. It is hidden. The subclass property is hidden. So how do you retrieve that hidden property? Cannot be resolved is not a field. So can I write the downcasting statement? The same downcasting statement what we had here. Observe object OB, we can't access. Can I copy the same downcasting statement? And can I replace this with CT? One problem is solved. We got the serial number. C2 is stored in OB, then it is downcasted to CT. Hope everyone understood the concept. Here it is C2, it is upcasted to OB, again it is downcasted to CT, and then we are accessing serial number. I hope no confusion in this. Okay. Now, sir, what about C1, sir? If you are not able to use the original key, you can use the spare key. I think I given you one example many days ago, exactly 20 days ago. If you can't use a car is there, outside it is locked. Internally, we can use one internal key. When you can't use a reference variable, internally you can use something else. I told you, what is that something else? You can't use address of the object. You can use something called, you tell me what is that something? This keyword holds the address of the current object created. I told you this internal key is like this keyword, external key is the reference variable. Since you are calling equals method using C1, don't you think this represents C1 represent this keyword? You're calling the equals method using C1 reference variable. So this keyword also will be holding same address as this C1. Understood? This keyword will help you to, this keyword is holding the address of the current class object. You're calling the method using C1 reference variable. So current class is C1. So now this C1 is replaced with this and C2 is replaced with serial number. If I call the equals method, now it will return true. Observe. Finally, you have proved it is duplicate after overriding equals method. We have overridden the equals method and proved it is duplicate. So tell me, equals method before overriding was useful or after overriding is useful? And most important thing, did you understand why I'm downcasting here? Did upcasting happen while calling the method? Yes. I'll just give you certain points. Copied on the points. 1 minute. Write down this. So the three important methods of object class: toString method, equals method, hashcode method. Okay. With this, we'll move on with the next set of concepts. So now the next important topic I'm going to explain: exception handling. The next topic we're going to start off with is exception handling. If there is any errors in the runtime, how do you handle them? If there's some, suppose if I find any errors in the runtime, how I can handle the situations? How to handle it? The most crucial topic with respect to advanced Java or Selenium. This is a crucial topic. Okay. Before Selenium, before I forget the things, let me just okay. A new Selenium batch is going to start 17th. And timings is still not decided. This is a temporary date as of now. The new Selenium batch will be starting on 17, I think 16th. It's on Monday, 16th. So another 10 more classes, 9 to 10 more classes. It will be things will be completed. Most probably I'll be winding up the things within 15th, maximum 15th, and 15th will be your final mock. It's not 15th. Hold on, it's not 15th. 13th will be your final mock. Thursday, next Thursday, 12th. And the classes will be there up to 15th. Classes will run up to 15th. What happened in mock? I'll ask questions, you'll answer in mock. What will happen? If you answer, you'll get opportunities. If you don't answer, you'll not get opportunity. Simple. Nothing will happen. If you're studying every day, nothing will happen. If you're not studied, everything will happen. I'm speaking about the online batch. I told you I'm only speaking about online things. I don't speak about offline things. Faculty, I'm not sure, but our batch will be started. It's not mine. A new batch will be started. So this will be your final mock date, and this will be your last class. I'll be winding up the things core Java within this. Okay. To prepare timing and all, we'll speak later. Let me come back to the concept exception handling. So what is the concept of exception handling? What exactly mean by this exception handling? To understand the concept of exception handling, first I need to explain you what is exception. In order to handle the exception, first of all, we need to have an idea what is an exception. Okay. The best example for exception, I think yesterday or day before, yesterday only. Yesterday's situation is the best example for exception handling. So, what is our common procedure? What is the normal flow of the Java class? I will start the class within 4:45, 4:35 to 4:30, 4:35 to 4:40. Within this, I'll be starting off the class. Maximum 4:40, 35, 36. I'll be starting off with the class. Start the concepts. Explain for 2 hours. Give assignment at end. Log out. End the class. End the class. 6:30. No, this is a normal procedure. And the normal flow of Java class will be 4:35 explanation of the things. From 4:35 to 6:30, I'll be facing a lot of exceptions. For example, when I'm explaining the things, if I find any person not interacting and being in class, so what will happen? Our regular class will be stopped and I'll start concentrating. I'll be speaking with this person. I'll ask him, I'll stop the class and I'll ask him, why are you not interactive? Are you there in the class? That is an exception, meaning we are deviating from the normal flow. I'm stopping the class. This is an exception for me. So what now? I need to handle this exception. What is happening to this fellow? Why is he not interactive? Is he logged in and escaped? If he is logged in and escaped, what should I do in the next class? What should I need to plan for this person because I can't keep him in. This is an exception. I need to handle it. If you're there in the class without concentrating, I need to handle it. This is an exception for us. Now, when I start the class, do I know this fellow at this time will stop my class and I'll ask a question? Do you think this is a part of a plan? But I'll come prepared to scold you like this in this word, this time, or this sentence. First of all, do I know who will be at the end of the class? Who will be sitting here at the end without responding in the class? See these 6 people. I'm not even responded from the last 30 minutes. These are the exceptions for us. Now I'll just ask live examples for exception. Now I'll ask, are you there in the class? Definitely, this is an interruption for us. Since I'm very smart, I'm using this interruption for Java also. I'm using the interruption for explaining the thing. So here, this is definitely exception in the normal class. I need to handle this. Might be logged in and escaped. Do I think I come prepared to scold this fellow at this time? 6, 7. He's not responding. So can I consider this is an exception? Which disturbs the normal flow of the Java program. Exception is an unexpected event which disturbs the normal flow of the Java program. So these people are the exceptions, unexpected event which disturb our normal class. if there is a fellow not at all submitting assignment. Now I'll interrupt the class and I'll start talking to this person. I need to handle this. If I'm not handling this, I cannot continue with the class future classes. So I'll give you an option. There is an exception. Will you handle the exception and continue with the class, or will you be kicked out of the class? I'll give you two options. So there is a mistake, there is an exception. I will detect this exception and I'll give you the chance. Do you want to rectify? Will you handle the exception and move forward? Or you want me to kick you out of the class? Two options. Do you want to handle the exception? I'll give you the chance. If you don't handle that exception, that's the end for you. So when an exception occurred, there are two choices: handle the exception and move on, or stop due to exception. And yesterday, something completely unexpected. There was a problem with the server itself. There was a problem with server. I never wanted to cancel the class. Somehow I made them, I want this class to be done. I made sure it is handled and we started up the class on time. Some people will use this as an excuse to enjoy class cancelled, class cancelled. If the class is cancelled, you will be happy, but it's a loss for you only. Nothing I will lose. I lose nothing. I'll use those 2 hours to study something else paid. So that was an exception. I handled it and we started off with the class. So that was completely unexpected. Meaning, first of all, the class was delayed for 15 minutes, but we handled it. The unexpected we need to handle exception in Java. That's what I need to tell you now. Okay, real-time application. Okay, you told all this, but sir, what in Java? How in Java we feel this exception? Com dot qspadders dot exception handling. This is there exception handling program one. So inside this program one, main method. Inside the main method. Okay, now observe println starting of Java program. Start of Java program. Println end of Java program. Okay. Now I will use scanner class. I'll tell you the reason. Scanner sc is equal to new scanner system dot in sc dot, okay, system dot out dot println, enter an integer value, enter and a number, enter an enter a number, int num is equal to sc dot next int, and I'll display the value system dot out dot println num is equal to plus num. Check out now. I'll tell you. Simply I'll write one statement. You'll remember this, so that I've just written some statement over there. Now concentrate. Enter a number. I will enter 45. Normal flow, there is no exception. Everything is working fine. Line number 8 to line number 9 to line number 15, the program is working fine, no problem, everything fine. Enter a number. Some over smart people will be there. Enter a number. Okay, I will enter one number. They asked me to enter a number. I'm entering number. Over smart. This is exception in thread main. Remember this word thread main. We'll speak about this later. You entered a number. Java dot input mismatch exception. Input I expected and input what you entered is mismatch. I was expecting integer value. You are giving me some string value. I will not accept this. I cannot store that in number, meaning what you entered is mismatch. I can't continue. I asked you to be interactive in class, you are not interactive in class, meaning that's the end point. That's the end. I asked you, there is a mismatch between you and me. I asked you to be interactive, you are not interacting. I asked you integer, you give me string. So there is an interactive. That's the end. We will not continue forward. That's the end of your Java class. You can leave for the day. That's the end. You can't continue with my class. I'll give you a chance. Will you change? If you change, I will allow you.
నేనే
If you
ఫార్మాట్
don't
సెలెక్ట్
change, I'll
చేసుకున్నాను.
stop you. I think some person already left the class. For example, I told that's the end for today. I'm really not ending the class. I think some people took it so seriously. Okay. So now let us concentrate on this. Did you understand what is an exception in Java? Can I consider line number 12, the Java program is stopping? It is not printing line number 13, line number 14, line number 15 is not printed. The Java program, line number had copy, end of Java program number is not printed. So exception is a concept which it's an unexpected event. Do you know the user will enter like this? Have you expected while writing a program that user will come and write a program like this? How do you know? While writing the application, you have to deal with not many overthinkers like this. Okay. Now, how the JVM detected this exception? What is the background of the concept? How exactly the JVM was able to identify this? What's the background? Listen carefully. In the world of Java, everything is objects. So, this is a Java program. Inside the Java program, if JVM encounters any risky line of code, class program run. Sir, what is risky line of code? The line of code which has the capability to stop the program is called a risky code. The statement, the Java code which has the capability of stopping the program is called risky code. This is happening at compile time or runtime. The concept of exception is detected at runtime by JVM. A compiler is not at all worried about this. There is no compile time error. Remember, first thing, at runtime, all the things are happening. The problem is at runtime. Okay. What next? Okay, here I was speaking about this. When JVM encounters a risky code, now I should give you an opportunity to change yourself, right? What is going to happen, to tell there is an exception, JVM has to communicate to the programmer, there is an exception. Can you just make a guess? How can the JVM talk to you? In the world of Java, everything is what? JVM will internally create one exception object. Remember, JVM is creating one object, sir. How object is created without class? JVM is using inbuilt class to create the object. Internally, there are many exception classes. I'll show you. According to the risky code, JVM will choose one exception object and JVM will create this exception object. Sir, when the JVM will create exception object? When it encounters risky code. When JVM encounters risky code, JVM will create one exception object. JVM will create one exception object and this exception object will be thrown to the code. I will throw this to the programmer. Let the programmer know I'm stopping the program. Now JVM will give you the chance. If you have written any code to handle this exception object, I will allow you to continue. If you have not written any code to handle this object, if this object comes back to me, see, I will throw this code to you. If you are not handling, it will come back to me. Then JVM only will handle with the help of default exception handler. Meaning, I will generate the exception, meaning trainer. I will create exception. I will give you a chance. Will you rectify? If you have not rectified, I should only step in to handle that exception. I'll give you the chance to rectify. If you don't rectify, I will step in, I will rectify the problem, and I will stop you from class. I will handle. If you handle, you can continue. If I handle, you will be stopped from the class. If the JVM handles that exception, program will stop. If you handle the exception, program will continue. So now, did you handle the exception or programmer handled the exception? You have not written any code to handle the exception. So programmer, the JVM stopped the code by handling the exception. Remember, as a programmer, I did not handle this. Nowhere have written the code to handle the exception. I didn't write the code. So JVM has stopped my program. I didn't handle, boss. That is how I need to learn. Sir, how do you handle the exception? That is what the topic we are going to learn from today. That's what our next topic is about, handling exceptions. Before handling exceptions, we need to know what is an exception. Before handling exception, we have to first understand what is an exception. That is what I have explained you now. What is an exception? Did you understand the story? If JVM encounters risky code, JVM will create one exception object. This exception object will be thrown to the code. If the programmer handles this, I will allow you to continue. If you are not handling, it will come back to JVM. JVM will handle and stop the program. 1 minute. Just give me a minute. So what is an exception? I have explained. How to handle the exception, I have not explained. How the program is stopping. So line number 12, JVM internally creates one exception object. And that exception object will stop the program. Now, if you understand what is exception, I'll explain you how to handle exceptions. Make a note of this first. Whatever the statement I made, I've written in the form of a notes. The same statements what I explained. To inform the programmer. According to the risky code, JVM creates one exception object. And these are the inbuilt classes. There is a supermost class called throwable. Above throwable, we have object class. There is a class by name error exception. Error means these are the problem which are occurring due to system we can't handle, we'll ignore them. We are going to make the programmer mistakes. Unchecked exception, checked exception, that's the next topic which we are going to study later. You ignore that. There are many inbuilt classes. A few important inbuilt classes I've shared here. This diagram I'll be sharing with you people. And remember, JVM internally creates one exception object. That exception object will be depending upon the risky code. So here it is creating, the name of the object is input mismatch exception object. There is a class by name input mismatch and the object of that is created. Like that, there are many inbuilt classes which we are going to deal with it one by one, one by one. So we only studied introduction to exception. What is exception? How it occurs. The topic is how
The
do you handle
tablet dabara.
exception? That exception handling we are going to study, the most crucial topic we are going to study in the tomorrow's class. So that's it for right now for today. Let me stop at this. Rest of the things will continue in the tomorrow's class.